This is the San Jose Sharks lineup. This is Auston Matthews. Is there a possibility that the two can be linked? Well, that's what David Pagnotta went out there and said on Leafs Morning Take earlier last week regarding the Auston Matthews future in Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, we are diving into this once more because Auston Matthews trade rumors are not going away. Matthews is 28 years old, 6'3", 216, a left-handed center signed till the end of 2028, making $13.25 million a year. This contract ain't long. It's only going till 2028. And he only has 2 more years left on said deal. Matthews has declined in point production. The first 2 years of the contract saw him put up 78 and 53 points. So definitely a step down from the $11.6 million Auston Matthews that was getting 100-point seasons and 60-goal seasons. Does the departure of Mitch Marner have anything to do with the lack of production this previous campaign? Maybe, but Auston Matthews is going through a pretty interesting time where his production has fallen, people have started to doubt him, there's this new era in Toronto going to be kicking off soon, where people are starting to believe in the future, like Gavin McKenna. And maybe some other prospects that could toss themselves into the mix there too. Auston Matthews, you can say, maybe doesn't have the same belief from Leafs fans as they once did. He is the captain, he has been the past 2 years, and these previous 2 seasons with the C, he has been less productive than before. Now, with the Olympics going down and all this talk about tampering in Milan, where maybe Quinn Hughes went out there and said something that caused Dylan Larkin to potentially want to leave Detroit, where Matthew Tkachuk was able to get involved and get conversations going as well, you can say that maybe this American squad at the Olympics was a big catalyst for trade requests. That's what a lot of other analysts are saying. And for Auston Matthews in particular, because the Toronto Maple Leafs suffered as much as they did last season, there are questions as to whether or not Matthews could get moved or he could ask to be moved. This is what David Pagnotta said in regards to Auston Matthews' future. If/when this ever happens, I fully expect San Jose to be in the mix. I don't think that's something happening now, but if it ever gets to that point, I think the Sharks are going to be fully engaged in that mix. Courtesy of the Leafs Morning Take show, and this is actually something that isn't new. The idea of Auston Matthews coming over to the San Jose Sharks. I'd say the Sharks have a really good top 6 that is poised for the future. Chernyshov, Celebrini, Will Smith, Eklund, Misa, and out of everybody else, it's Kiefer Sherwood listed here as second-line right-wing material. If I had to guess, I would say maybe a Colin Graf or a Pavel Regenda is probably best suited for that top 6 right-wing spot long-term over a guy like Kiefer Sherwood. And that's as much as I love Kiefer Sherwood. The guy was the #1 Vancouver Canucks goal scorer this previous campaign before getting traded over to San Jose. But this top 6 is pretty nasty. What if you added Auston Matthews? What if you changed Michael Misa to a winger, put him either on the second line right wing or somewhere else, and then you have Auston Matthews down the middle behind Macklin Celebrini? This Sharks team may be unstoppable. I mean, it does seem like a realistic idea that Auston Matthews, should he ask out, he would probably want to go to some team in California, maybe a Vegas. When Arizona was in the NHL, you can say that Matthews probably would have wanted to go there because he grew up a Coyotes fan. But the fact that David Pagnotta is still beating that drum, it does get me interested as to where this Auston Matthews thing is going to go. We have made videos already in the past talking about Auston Matthews and just the idea of him asking out, this second overall Matthews San Jose thing was already talked about last month, and then you also had other teams involved in the Matthews conversation, maybe Anaheim, maybe LA, maybe Utah, all sparked up because of his really great tenure for Team USA at the Olympics. I mean, he was the captain after all, and if these American dudes are kind of clamoring to Auston, hey, you should ask for a trade. It's a really great avenue to fix your entire career. Maybe Auston takes that to heart, and maybe he decides to go somewhere like San Jose, which out of all the California teams, I'd say San Jose and Anaheim have the brightest futures in that order. The Ducks, they made the playoffs, they did some really good things in this previous season, and they made the second round, but ultimately, Anaheim, I'd say they don't have the same upper ceiling like a San Jose Sharks team with Macklin Celebrini and Michael Misa does, especially when you add on the second overall pick that's going to come over, which would probably be a guy like Chase Reed. Think about the future of this San Jose forward core and D core if you have Mukamadulin, you have Sam Dickinson, and then you add on Chase Reed, a top power play featuring Celebrini, Smith, Misa, Reed, and I guess Auston Matthews would be so killer. Or, I don't know, maybe the San Jose Sharks actually take a page out of the old social media speculation textbook and they trade second overall for Auston Matthews, which would give the Maple Leafs ample opportunity to start out their franchise on the right foot with McKenna and Stenberg at 1 and 2 overall. This is the latest on the Twitter thread. Michael, Michael goes out there and asks the question, why would Matthews be a target for the San Jose Sharks? San Jose is still a couple of years away from being ready to make playoff noise. If Misa takes a step forward next season, you have your young second-line center of the future. Matthews would cost a ton of assets, and the Sharks should be using assets for blue line help, not a 30-year-old center who has been declining and dealing with injuries. That's a very fair perspective, and I think Auston Matthews is definitely a player that has his question marks, but I still think he's Auston Matthews. I don't know. I still would like to believe in a guy that was close to scoring 70 goals in a year once, but to each their own, I guess. By year 17 of the rebuild, Michael will finally believe the Sharks are ready to contend. Glad it only takes most teams like the Astros, Oilers, and Patriots 2 to 3 years to rebuild. So, I think what Shark fan Nevada is responding to is essentially, hey, at some point the San Jose Sharks are going to have to make big steps. At some point, they're going to have to make a swing. Maybe Auston Matthews is that swing. Who really knows? Other replies are going out there and saying, yeah, if Matthews has another year like last year, who really wants him? The guy is regressing massively in both his foot speed and shot speed, nearly 29 years old, below a point per game, and coming off a devastating knee injury. I bet money that Misa is outproducing him within 3 years. I could see Matthews coming to San Jose in free agency. I don't see the Sharks giving away assets for him anytime soon. Goodness, that would be crazy, man. If Auston Matthews goes till 2028, he does not end up re-signing in Toronto. Maybe he gets traded for a rental or something at the 2028 trade deadline, and then he becomes a free agent, and then he goes to the Sharks? Ay, ay, ay. Celebrini setting up Auston Matthews. When's the last time a team had 2 50-goal scorers on the team at the same time? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about David Pagnotta's update that Auston Matthews, if he does ask out, San Jose is going to be in the mix? I hope you enjoyed this British Ashroll sign on, and bye.